Oh man, so Ijaz back with another video. We've got Bitcoin down 1% and Phantom is down 0.69%. Does this mean we're going to get thrown back into our downward trend, or are we going to continue to create those higher lows? Let's take a look at the charts. First, let's start off with Bitcoin because it's really important to understand in this market we're in right now, where is Bitcoin heading? And you remember me saying, I'm just here on the hourly, by the way, we got a good bounce here from 35860, right? So we bounced back up, went down again, got some support and created a higher low. So we created a higher low and we started creating higher highs, which was great. And we ended up, as you can see here on the hourly, since we flipped here on the 28th of Jan, we've managed to stay above our EMA ribbon, which is good news. We're trying to get out of this rut and it's not going to happen overnight. And the important level which I said was we need to get above 38,405. Okay, you can almost see a bit of a triangle pattern, if you want to call it that, in this situation with the horizontal resistance at 38,405, right? So that's the area we're coming into now, but you can see we're getting a little bit of a curling off. Now, does this get people worried that we've not been able to create that higher high? Because you can see here the high was here and we've just got a lower high there. Does that mean that that's the case, or are we going to get the support from the EMA ribbon plus the 200 moving average here on the hourly chart and manage to then fight again for the 38,405 level? Really important. But one thing for sure which is positive is we haven't been thrown drastically back down to these kind of levels with 37, 36 or 35. We've seen some good strength here from Bitcoin with a plus 1% day, a negative 1% day. That is just the market going sideways, and that's what I expect for the next 60 days or so, is lots of moments of sideways activity and small pushes in certain directions. Okay, so that's what we're expecting over the next 60 days. And what does that mean for some of our altcoins? Well, if we take a look at Phantom, interestingly, Bitcoin down 1%, but Phantom only down 0.4% at the time of recording this video, which is very interesting because you expect when your altcoins are going at a multiple of the rate of Bitcoin to the upside, you expect the same to the downside as well. So here on the hourly on Phantom, you remember that we said we had this long-term downward resistance, as you can see from this big red line here, multiple points of resistance. You can see one there, you can see another one there. Okay, another one here, multiple points of resistance, even here, got thrown back down, but now you can see we got this breakout, and we covered that in yesterday's video, that we were getting a little bit of a breakout to the upside, which is very interesting. Now, if you watch the video, I said there's no problem even if we get a retest, and the beautiful thing about retesting this support line here is you also get retest from the 208 line, which we know is an important support resistance level. Okay, so we know from this yellow line here, from multiple touches, is a solid support and resistance line. Therefore, coming down to collect a retest from here before heading to the upside is very possible. Okay, and that's what we want to see. We need to see a high above 2018, which is this previous peak right here, before we can start thinking about getting back to the 237 mark. And winning that 237 mark is going to be very important. Okay, now to the downside, what are our risks? Well, you can see here a big couple of red candles here, sending us back down to 208 for our support line. If we lose that level, then we have to start looking at the bottoms again, which we touched upon here and here at about $2, 199, right? Anything less than that, then you're going down to 194 at our next major support level, which is characterized by here. Okay, so that's what we're looking for here on Phantom. Overall, things are still looking super strong. We just need Bitcoin to get going, right? So Bitcoin's going to be tentative. If we look at the wider market, you can see here the futures on the weekend, 1.5% up on the Dow, 2.3% on the S&P, and the Nasdaq future showing 3.17 up, which is giving us some positive signs that the market is shaking off these interest rate fears. And hopefully, given the next few days, let's see when the trading week opens tomorrow. Let's see how the market starts to digest that. They've had the weekend to digest the news. Will they come out green and start rebounding with some of the growth stocks starting to pick up, because they're very suppressed values right now? And the same is true for the crypto market. We have some super suppressed valuations on some of our favorite altcoins, even Bitcoin itself sitting at 38 still. When you put that into perspective of the 69,000 it was at just a few months ago, there's no arguing that it's not super undervalued right now. So very interesting. Let's check out the Fear and Greed Index. And you can see here, we're now creeping up to 29. Okay, it was 24 before, creeping up to 29. And that reflects my sentiment as well. You can start to see that the market is digesting the news, starting to feel a little bit better. They knew interest rates were going to be hiked anyway. Why did we kick up all this fuss? Was it a bunch of nothingness? And should we begin buying the dips on our favorite plays? So you're starting to see that pattern emerge. Okay, now, what does this mean for Phantom on other timescales? Well, let's take a look at our daily chart, because you can see here on our daily, we are still still bearish, okay? So we're still below our EMA ribbon. Like I said, that critical battle for the 237 mark is what's going to enable us to flip back bullish and then go to test all-time highs here on Phantom. But like I said, that's really unlikely to happen for us to break 237 with great volume unless Bitcoin starts to break through 40 and gain some momentum, which is very possible. We're at 38 already. We've been holding that level for a little while now, which is giving the bull some confidence that we're holding 38, no need to revisit 35. And if that can remain, then we can see a push through 40, and then some of our favorite altcoins can start moving back through their important levels as well. If we look at the 4-hourly on Phantom, interestingly, you can see here we're still getting some resistance from our EMA ribbon, and this is what's kind of giving me some concerns on the pattern to the upside. So we're looking at this as a retest of our long-term resistance line, which we saw we got a small breakout from. The volume was low. It was a weekend breakout, okay? And we also got the resistance of the EMA ribbon, okay? So this is a very, we've got to be very cautious. If you're trading this on a short-term time scale, this is a very cautious thing to do here. Yes, you've got to break out from the long-term red resistance, but the EMA ribbon is clearly acting as resistance, pushing us down. The positive to your side is you've got 208 acting as support here, the important 208 line, but this is going to be an important level. Are we going to be able to flip our 4-hour EMA ribbon and get to the upside so we can start to move towards 237? Again, a lot of that is going to depend on Bitcoin and how Bitcoin fancies getting on in this market. Let's take a quick look at dominance as well, and you can see here on the 4-hourly, dominance is just going from strength to strength. Ever since we bounced from 39, dominance has been on an upward trend, as you can see from its EMA ribbon. Higher lows, higher highs, a nice upward trend to the upside, and that's very normal in this market, guys. What happens in these types of markets when the markets are retracing? As you can imagine, money is flowing out of altcoins, even flowing out of Bitcoin at that point, but less so flows out of Bitcoin than does altcoins, and therefore Bitcoin as a percentage of all altcoins continues to go up, right? Because Bitcoin is still the safest out of all these altcoins, all these lower cap projects, and that is why you see dominance continue to go up. Okay, so definitely one to continue to monitor. Let's also take a look at our total value locked here on Phantom. And if we pull up the chains and give it a good refresh, let's see where we're sitting at as of now on a Sunday. And the other thing to note here, guys, on a Sunday, as I remember, is let's take a quick look at the volumes, okay? You have to be very careful with the volumes on a weekend. You do get low volumes, and that can lead to false conclusions being made on certain patterns and breakouts, okay? So the retest on Phantom, which we're looking at, we've got to understand that these big red candles are happening with low volume. Therefore, if the volume comes in tomorrow in the green, that can give us a boost to the upside, okay? Very important that we understand that. Okay, so our TVL is sitting at Ethereum, still at the top at 117 billion, as understood. You can see Terra Luna sitting at 13 billion, Binance Smart Chain at 12 billion, and then our Phantom comes in at 9.42. This is excluding Pool 2, by the way, but still great strength here from Phantom. Like I said, we've probably seen a little bit of total value locked leak away due to obviously Andre Cronje and Daniel Sester's solid project. They took the snapshot, right? So the snapshot of who's going to get the airdrop of their tokens. Therefore, I expect some TVL to start flowing away for those who are only interested in the airdrop. But also, we saw some of that scandal with Frog Nation. If you haven't watched that video, go check that video out on my channel explaining what happened. That could have left a bit of a tarnish short term here on Phantom, and people getting a little bit spooked on some of their yield farming strategies. That's understandable, right? Now, what do we want to see here longer term on Phantom? I think it's always important to zoom out and understand longer term, what are we looking at here? And if I go back to our weekly chart here with our Fibonacci extensions, you can see that my targets continue to sit. And by the way, you can see here weekly, you've not even penetrated your EMA ribbon here, guys. So this is perfect support here from my EMA ribbon, perfectly normal. Just like when Phantom had its run up here, look at this, a number of weekly candles, right? So red weekly candles penetrating well into the EMA ribbon at this point, but then you got a massive move to the upside, creating all-time highs. And then you can see us now retracing back down. Can we then push on to our next target? And remember, my initial target was here at 3.91 on a 1.68618. On the second move, I've got a target of 4.33 here at the golden ratio from our swing low to swing high. So definitely something I'm looking out for here on Phantom. And that's for me, that's my technical target, right? Looking at the Fibonacci retracements. But longer term with Phantom, you know, if you're not watching my video, by the way, saying this is the most important Phantom video you're going to watch in 2021, go watch that video, because, that really does explain a lot around why I think FANTOM is so super undervalued, and $4.3 from a technical target is super conservative. I think there's far more upside in FANTOM given the amount of TVL. I mean, just go and look at DeFi Llama and look at some of the other projects with TVL locked in and look at the valuation they're commanding and look at what FANTOM is not commanding. And by the way, I made that video when FANTOM didn't have his massive spike in TVL. Since then, it's grown its TVL very impressively. And again, all that new TVL should be valued at the new valuation as well. So super bullish product here on project on FANTOM. Just need the market to start heading up to the upside. And, I'm expecting this to be a difficult period of time for the next 60 days leading up to the Fed meeting on March 16th. Take this time to really develop your conviction for your favorite plays, understand what you're doing, rebalance your portfolio if you need to. You should not be having any weaklings in your portfolio. Everything should be something that if we retrace 20%, 30% more from here, you're holding, you're not panic selling. Those are the plays you need in your portfolio. So really take a deep look at your portfolio, at your own psychology, and get ready for the next phase. As always, guys, as a final message, if you haven't got yourself set up on a VPN, please consider clicking the link in the description below. That will take you to NordVPN, who very kindly for our sponsors here have given 70% off a 2-year plan plus a month for free. Okay, guys, a VPN is already peanuts, and given your security here in crypto, you cannot risk losing your funds by being negligent with your security. So definitely get yourself set up on NordVPN. I've got myself set up on there as well. Coupon code is OhMan. Details in the description box. As always, guys, thanks for watching these videos. If you appreciate this type of content, make sure you're smashing up the like button and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.